Bible in a minute. Genesis 32. So Jacob and Laban have split up in this chapter, and Jacob is heading back to the land of his family with a promise from God, I will be with you. So he's approaching the territory of his brother Esau. Now, the last time Jacob and Esau are mentioned is when Jacob is running for his life because he has stolen not only the birthright from Esau, but now the blessing when he wore, Esau's clothes and goat skins on his arms to feel like his arms all rough and everything, for the sole purpose of deceiving his father Isaac. So Esau was comforting himself with the thought of killing Jacob. Rachel tells Jacob, Jacob takes off. So that's the last time that Jacob and Esau are mentioned together. And now Jacob is headed home, and he's got to pass near his brother's territory. So he decides to butter him up, I guess, and essentially just send him a message of blessing. But when the messengers come back, they tell Jacob, Esau is coming with 400 men. The Bible says Jacob became greatly afraid, deeply distressed by this news, because this does not sound like a greeting party. This sounds like a war party. So Jacob calls out to God. He tells God, look, I'm not worthy of all of the blessings that you've given to me since I've crossed the Jordan River until now. But now I've become two camps. I've got so many people and, wives, children, and flocks that now we're separated into two camps. In this chapter, he calls God out. He tells God, you said, I will certainly do you good. I will make your descendants as numerous as the grains of sand by the sea, which are so many they can't be counted. So he quotes God's own words and tells God, look, you said that you were going to bless me. And he's reminding God of the promise. So then he begins to divide. He creates this flock that he's going to give Esau as a gift. And then he begins to divide his family, his possessions into multiple camps and stages, thinking that, okay, if Esau attacks one group, maybe some of the others will be spared. So Jacob sends everybody ahead of him. They cross the Jabbok River, and he stays on the other side of the river by himself after getting all of his livestock, all of his family across. He stays there. And in this experience, an angel of the Lord, a messenger of the Lord, or the Lord himself comes down, and Jacob wrestles with him. And this is a very unusual encounter because they start wrestling. And when day is about to dawn, the messenger, whoever it is, whether God or an angel, says, hey, let me go. It's daybreak. And Jacob says, I won't let you go until you bless me. And normally when somebody attacks us or wrestles with us, we're like, hey, you let me go. Great. I just want to make sure you're not going to kill me. But Jacob says, no, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. So Jacob is wrestling with this messenger, and he prevails. And so God changes his name from Jacob to Israel, struggles with God, wrestles with God. And so the implication is that he has wrestled with God in a body. Who is God in a body? I think you know the answer to that question. So then Jacob names that place Peniel, the face of God, because I have seen the face of God and lived. But from that moment on, Jacob has a limp, because when the angel or God or, again, whoever, wink, wink, was wrestling with him, wouldn't let him go, that individual touched Jacob's hip socket and dislocated his hip. So from that point forward, he walks with a limp. And here's, not to super spiritualize it, but think about this. When we have an encounter with God, it should change us. When we have an encounter with the true and living God, we should walk away with a limp. And I'm not saying it should be painful, but I'm saying there should be a difference in us. There should be a difference in the way we walk. There should be something that has happened, that the encounter with God has changed about us, and we will never, never, never be the same. So again, not to over spiritualize it, but it did happen with Jacob, where he didn't walk the same ever again because of his hip socket, and just something worth thinking about. So feel free to comment, share, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Have a great one.